A delegation of more than 150 government and business leaders from Iowa's sister state in China are finishing up a 3-day visit. The delegation comes from Hebei province, the area that wraps around China's capital city, Beijing.
Today in Des Moines, the Chinese group signed a $1 billion trade deal with Iowa business leaders. China is already Iowa's 4th largest trading partner. This new deal calls for more Iowa exports to go to China's Hebei province. This visit by the Chinese delegation also marks the 30th anniversary of Hebei's sister state relationship with Iowa. Dozens of exchanges during those years have developed cultural, business, and educational relationships, along with close ties between Governor Branstad and Chinese President Xi.
Every time we can expand markets, even if they're overseas markets, it's going to be jobs in Iowa. And we have a very unique opportunity with the relationship between Governor Branstad and the current president of China, Xi Jinping, who are long, old-time friends.
The visit by the Hebei delegation began in Muscatine Sunday. And I was in Hebei province back in 1995 and 97, witnessing the growing connection between Cedar Rapids and the city of Tangshan. During the second trip, I covered the beginning of a friendship city agreement between the two cities. Cedar Rapids Mayor Lee Clancy signed that agreement at this ceremony, opening up a new relationship with that city in northeast China.
And tomorrow, Dubuque will welcome a delegation from Handan, its sister city in Hebei province. 9 delegates from there will discuss economic development with Dubuque city leaders, but there's little time for fun as well. A photo exhibit showing scenes from Handan will open at the Roshek building tomorrow.
Still ahead tonight, Scott previews Iowa's next football game as the Hawks prepare to take on Northwestern at Kinnick.
It's a chilly, rainy, and snowy day across eastern Iowa. When you melt it all down, here's what was left in the rain gauge, just 200ths in Dubuque, up to 1900ths in Cedar Rapids. Now we'll dry things out for a while, but it stays chilly. Your forecast is next on your 24-hour news and weather source, KCRG TV 9.
Now the first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Joe Winters.
Pinpoint storm net right here in downtown Cedar Rapids as the temperature sitting at 37 degrees. Now it feels like 35. The winds fairly light out of the west-northwest now at 3. And here in downtown Cedar Rapids at the KCRG studios, we picked up 0.15 of an inch of precipitation. You can take a look at all of our pinpoint storm net gauges. Just head to the weather page. Down at the bottom, you can click on pinpoint storm net, and we're adding more and more gauges each and every day. Watch for those coming across eastern Iowa to your hometown. Speaking of hometowns, we have some beautiful fall foliage to show you in a second from Cedar Rapids. First, the hometowns down toward Washington and south, a freeze warning is in effect. Everyone else has seen freezing temperatures, and that's why that warning is not in effect farther north. And after tonight, we'll have no more freeze warnings to worry about across eastern Iowa. An important clearing that really will depend on how cold it gets. If we clear off as we head through the overnight hours, even a partly cloudy sky allow those temperatures to drop in the 20s, could drop even farther if we cleared further. And speaking of the fall foliage, take a look at this photo submitted by Larry Gilds of Cedar Rapids. This is looking at Norridge Park today. Not only the beautiful orange in the tree, but look on the ground. A little light snow sitting there too. So again, kind of a sign of things to come. As those leaves fall, the snow falls on the ground as well. Larry, thanks for sending in that photo. We love you to share your pictures. Weather at KCRG.com is the place to email them. News, you can post them. Facebook as well as Twitter as well. Some great fall foliage photos. Take a look. They're all online. Here's a look at our satellite and radar and shows the storm that moved through this morning brought us the rain and snow. It's now pushing across Illinois and Indiana, and we are from time to time seeing some breaks in the cloud cover. The more breaks we get, the cooler will be as we head toward the morning hours. And then we focus our attention back off to the north and west. Not the light snow across Minnesota, but this complex across areas of North Dakota into southern Canada. It's heading down to the south and east, developed in just about the same area as our previous storm, but this one appears to move a little farther to the west. That should keep the precipitation away tomorrow from most of the TV9 viewing area. So let's look at pinpoint futurecast overnight. Let's just say some clearing will be with us, and as we head through tomorrow, let's say around 5 o'clock or so, there may be an isolated shower down toward Tama, over toward Washington, but that would be about it. Everyone else dry, and really that's only about a 10 to 20% chance. Outside the door right now, we're at 32 in Decorah, 36 at the Eastern Iowa Airport, 37 in Washington, 36 in Dubuque, and 34 degrees in Waterloo. Down in the 20s tonight, probably about 28 degrees eventually in Iowa City. Some clearing, and let's call it cold, with north winds diminishing at 5 to 10. The highs close to 40 degrees for most of us. Dubuque right in at 41 as skies again turn mostly cloudy as that storm approaches the west, mainly northwest winds at 5 to 10. Extended outlook 40s to near 50 degrees by Friday, but look at that. Some clear skies overnight allow those temperatures to stay well down in the 20s. We will hit 53 degrees on Saturday, and then it looks like a little stronger storm system moves our way with a chance of rain as we head through next Monday and Tuesday. Bus stop forecast looks dry, but certainly a cool start, about 26 degrees. But no rain or snow to worry about tomorrow
You might
morning.
need gloves.
That may feel good.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Well, it's almost time to get the kids really dressed up and head on out for trick-or-treating. If you need to know what time your town trick-or-treats, head to KCRG.com. We've posted a link to the times on our homepage. And while you're there, you can also check out other fall activities under the Fall Fun link.
What was that sound?
It was a ghost.
Kind of scary, wasn't it? Still to come tonight. Job growth in the country falls from August to September, and for people 50 or older, a job search can be even tougher.
And a Nevada community shaken by a recent shooting at the town's middle schools trying to come together. We'll talk to the mayor still ahead.
First, though, here's a look at the headlines you'll read in tomorrow morning's Gazette. Stay with your 24-hour news source, KCRG TV 9.
We continue to learn more about the shooting at a middle school in Sparks, Nevada. Yesterday morning, a 12-year-old opened fire at the school, killing a teacher, then himself.
Police say the 7th grader brought a 9mm semi-automatic handgun from home to school. He shot 2 other students who were recovering. Then Michael Lansbury, this man you saw there, a math teacher at the school, saw the boy on the playground and tried to get him to put the gun down. But the boy shot Lansbury in the chest, killing him, and then turned the gun on himself, taking his own life. The town's mayor had this message for the school students and the greater Sparks community today.
Sometimes bad things happen. And it is up to all of us to be strong and push forward and know that goodness and love will trump these terrible events.
Police are still trying to determine how the boy got the handgun from his home. His parents are cooperating with police and could face charges in the case. Authorities are not releasing the shooter's name.
This year's job growth rate is not living up to government's expectations. The U.S. Labor Department says the economy added 148,000 jobs in September, but that's a drop from the 193,000 jobs added in August. Overall, though, job growth has been stagnant the last 3 years. In 2013, the economy averaged 178,000 new jobs a month. Last year, that number was 183,000. And in 2011, about 175,000 jobs were created a month. By the way, Americans over the age of 50 might have a tougher time finding work. A recent poll completed by the AP and NORC Center for Public Affairs Research found 22% of people over the age of 50 have searched for a job in the last 5 years. And despite their experience in the workforce, more than half of them describe the employment hunt as moderately or very difficult.
Up next tonight, the Cyclones have settled on a starting quarterback for this Saturday. Scott will have details.
And the tournament trail for high school volleyball started tonight. Stay with your 24-hour news source, KCRG TV 9.